Alright, so I'm kind of in the middle of getting ready to leave for the Philippines, doing tons of water changes. So I've water changed all these tanks. I'm gonna move to those tanks and those jars and those top tanks, so still got a lot more to go. Okay, I've done a ton of water changes. One thing I want to say quickly is that timing is really important. If you know you're going to be gone for a long time, try and make it so that none of your fish are tiny fry. So these guys are about a month and a half old. These are Gardneri Rayfield that I hatched out. And I just fed them some pellets, so they're getting nice bellies there. You can see them attacking the pellets. So this is ideal. Like, these guys are taking dry food, so whomever is taking care of your fish, if you have someone taking care of your fish, they'll have a much easier time of it than trying to deal with live food. So these guys are on dry food, and these are the youngest fry that I have right now. These guys, so you can see I planted up the tanks a lot more after SFAS. So I think everyone was getting upset because I was buying all the plants, like all the low light plants, and I was like, I still got tanks to fill up, guys. Like, but anyway, so remember, these guys are the Bivitatum fungi, so they got some nice guppy grass now. So I gathered up all the eggs, and now I'm gonna let them incubate while I'm in the Philippines. Same thing. Remember, the one on the right used to have a pair of gold Gardneri. Picked the last round of eggs, and they will be incubating while we're away. I moved them back in. Oops. I moved them. See if we can get a little light here at least. I moved them back in with the rest of the gold Gardneri colony. The larger the tank that your fish are in, the more stable the water parameters, which is important when you're going to be away. So I moved the pair back into here. There were some really cool fights for dominance. I like that they very rarely get fin damage. They just look beautiful. So let's see. These rubra I couldn't time because, I mean, they started holding on their own. They haven't spit fry yet, so we'll see if they're fry when I get back. Hopefully there are. What's in here? Oh yeah, all those little Rayfield fry were in here, and they got moved into that tank over there. The puffer fish, I put in a ton more ghost shrimp. So he's been slowly picking off the ghost shrimp that were in there before. I think there's one back there. He was slowly picking off the ghost shrimp that were in there before. And I hope this happens again while I'm away. They're not his favorite. I think he only goes after them when he's really hungry. But I put like 20 ghost shrimp in there. So it seems like he hasn't touched them yet. Okay, so it's the night before we leave. You've done as many water changes and planned as carefully as you could so that all your fish are in the largest volume of water possible, and you're pretty sure all their tank mates are really compatible and that they're taking the easiest food possible. So you've done all that. If you're gonna be gone for less than a week, you probably don't need anyone to come in and take care of your fish. If you've been taking care of your fish really well, then they're pretty resilient creatures, and they probably don't need anyone to come in and feed them, because if they're a non-fish person, they're probably going to overfeed them and kill your fish because they'll like think that more is better, and then all that extra food's going to rot in the tank, and it's just going to be terrible when you get home. I have had that happen, so don't do it. Only leave instructions if you have a trusted fish keeper helping you, someone who knows fish, someone who can tell if a fish is getting too much to eat, there's something wrong. You know, someone that has kept fish before, basically, or is a competent animal lover. That might work too. Or someone that has that can read very specific instructions and will actually carry out very specific instructions. And I keep saying specific because that's how you're going to be successful. So you can see that every single one of my tanks has a yellow tag and a blue tag. So the yellow tag, let's focus in just on this one for example. The yellow tag, of course I choose the tank that you can't look into, but the yellow tag has what fish are in here, the date I obtained them, and if possible where I got them from. So this is a P. linkii pair from Hermanus that I got in March of this year. The blue tag corresponds with the directions here. The blue tag is what I need my caretaker to do. So in this case, it's tank number 3, and it's a half pipette of grindleworms. All of my tanks have that. Okay, so here's another example. Here are a bunch of linkii fry, Gardneri Rayfield fry. I moved these from that tub that I shot earlier in the video into here. The reason that I moved them at least 2 days before leaving is so that I could experiment and measure the exact amount that these guys eat in about 5 minutes. So there's like 30, 40 fry in there. They are growing really fast. Right now I have it, sized to about 1 to 2 scoop biofish plus any grindles that are left over are going to go in this tank. By the time I come back, they're probably going to be twice as big. That's where the experienced fish keeper comes into play. He might feed them more, he might feed them less. The better you know your fish, the easier it will be to give specific instructions, which is why I had to move these guys at least 2 days before I left so that I could experiment and figure out exactly what they were eating. Okay, so I have clearly marked where all the live foods are. So the white worms are there, paramecium is there, grindleworms I moved into here. They used to be over here. Now since this person has cared for my fish before, they used to be here, but it's actually a little bit too cold on this shelf, and I moved them there. But I not only changed the instructions in the paper, but I also put a giant arrow. Same thing here. I moved a couple things around. This person has taken care of my fish before, but just to make sure I put giant arrows, because this used to be a pair of elastoma. This used to be a pair of elastoma. Since he took care of them, that was a month ago, they had fry, so I moved the parents over here, and now there are tiny fry that need paramecium here. Some of these, like all these jars, I just have one tag and it's like blatantly obvious what they need. Okay. You know, this one I had to adjust. I used to have more fish in here, so I had to cross out the half and put in 1/4. Okay, so the actual instructions, always put your contact information. I'm going to be in the Philippines, so that's actually kind of difficult to do. Okay, but always put your contact information in big bold on the front part. A reminder that all the instructions are on blue painter's tape, so if he were to walk in not even picking up the instructions, he could get an idea of what all these fish need because of the blue painter's tape. It really jumps out at you, and it's easy to peel off whenever you come home from vacation. So I really like blue painter's tape. So you can see how I laid this out. Step A, empty dehumidifier tank, okay, and then where to put it. So step B is the pufferfish. He's kind of special, but here is how the rest of it looks. So C, grindleworms. I arranged all of the following instructions by food. So all the fish underneath this heading eat grindleworms, and I indicated where they are, okay? We talked and I demonstrated how I collect them, and so this is just a reminder of those instructions. These fish only eat live food, so to prioritize these guys. And the numbering is out of whack because things have moved around. But again, they're all numbered. Not only have I numbered the tanks, but I put what's in it and then its location in italices. So if they're looking at it, so okay, P-Linky fry, let's see, right rack, top shelf, okay, first from left, 6-gallon tank. And then he can go back and be like, oh, okay, they are P-Linky fry, P-Linky fry, and they need 1/4 pipette of grindleworms. So that goes on. You can see there are a lot of them. A lot of them is just location, because nothing's more frustrating than trying to find something, right? And so I tried to make it as foolproof as possible. So all these, now these guys can be fed both grindleworms and or biofish pellet food, clearly marked here, okay? So these can get either or both, or if there aren't enough grindleworms, then there aren't any, these guys don't get any grindleworms. Next are white worms, okay, see right rack, very bottom left in the wine cooler, and it says white worms on there. Reminder on how to collect them. These are the jars, the left rack over here, okay? And then I also indicate where to dump extra worms, okay? And I'm saying put these in the betta rubra tank. Let's see, algae wafers here. You can see I labeled it food. Algae wafers, okay? Some in the snail tub. One for the baby bristlenose down there. Betta palafina and friends. So this is the right rack, very top shelf 20-gallon tank, okay? Paramecium is the giant arrow, okay? And he remembers where the paramecium was before. My bearded dragons are away. They're at East Bay Vivarium. They're being boarded there, so he doesn't need to take care of them. I'm really upset they're gone, but anyway. And then my plants also have instructions. I have a lot of carnivorous plants in the living room. So anyway, that is how you leave extremely clear, extremely specific instructions when you go on vacation. Again, if you're not going to be gone for longer than a week, you probably don't need to have a sitter come in. Anyway, I hope that was helpful.